Hello and good evening, Anoop and Samu. How are you? Fine. Okay. Me also doing good. Yeah, I'm good. So let's just start off. And today we'll be discussing about planning. The topic for today is planning. We'll be talking about what is planning, what is its importance in management. Am I audible? Okay. So I'll be talking about what is management, what is its importance, what are the different types of plans, how is the process of planning designed and implemented. That all we are going to discuss in today's class. All right. So uh, I have a video for you. Then I have an MCQ quiz, and then I have a PPT. So would you like to start with the quiz? It will be a warm up for you. Or we can do the quiz in the later part once we are done with the PPT. Then, okay. Just give me a minute. I have to plug in charger in my laptop. Just a second. Okay, alright. So we can just start, and then I'll show you the video, and towards the end we'll go to the quiz. Okay, it's a general quiz. It's not only related to planning. It includes other functions as well. Is that fine? Any of you have attended the assignment on classcharter.com? Anoop and Samu, did you do the assignment? Samu, you did it? Okay, the day I checked it, I don't think you attempted that on that particular day. Anoop, you haven't? Samu, you haven't. Have you done that role play? Salesperson role play. Did you do that one? In which you have to frame dialogue. Samu, okay, this time I'm giving you grace period. Actually, the day was, it was supposed to be done by Sunday. The Sunday was the deadline for it. But I am extending it because it's the first time the assignment has been put up on class charter. So this time I'll be excusing, but from next time, okay? Keep it in mind. Okay, so let's first start with this. So can you just tell me what is planning? What type of a function is planning? Samu and Anoop, what do you think planning is all about? Samu, Anoop, what is planning? It's all about pre-arrangement. Okay, yes, it's about pre-arrangement. Anoop, you have to say anything on this? About planning? You want to say anything? You have any idea in your mind? Okay, I'll just continue. Anoop is not responding right now. Anoop, am I audible to you? Okay, planning is it's like deciding in advance on a particular issue, we can say by nature it's an intellectual function. It's a function which involves a lot of thinking and assessment and evaluation. So that all is done by the top level management of an organization, isn't it, Samu? So we can say planning is one function which is mainly concerned with the top management. The lower level of management is not very much involved in planning. It is more into the implementation of plans. Planning is done by the senior most level of officers in any organization, isn't it? Okay. So what is planning? The different levels of planning. Strategic planning is there, intermediate planning. These are the different types of planning. Strategic, intermediate, operational, then planning process. What are the barriers to it? What are the planning premises? Do you understand the meaning of planning premises? Samu? Okay, premises. It's a term which means the boundaries. So planning premises means the boundaries or the assumptions on which any planning is made. We cannot make a very unrealistic plan. The plans need to be realistic by nature. So planning premises are the assumptions on which planning is based. Then forecasting. Forecasting is a function very similar to planning, but forecasting is more focused on it declares something that this much may be the sales by the end of this year. This may be the profit of the company at the end of this time period. So that's forecasting. As we have weather forecast, similarly forecasting is that function. Now let's see each of these. So planning is the primary function of management. It focuses on the future course of action, and it is an activity that specifies the objectives to be achieved in the future, and it also selects the alternative course of action to achieve those objectives. So there are 3 steps into this process. The first is defining the goal, establishing an overall strategy, and developing the plans for the work activity. Okay. Now, what is planning? It is, in simple terms, it is the determination of the future course of action in advance. Then, it is the blueprint of action and operation. Yes, planning forms the basis on which an organization is governed. We have certain set criteria in our mind, and we go on to achieve it through our efforts. That is planning. Then, planning is the intellectual process, and it is concerned with deciding in advance what, when, why, how, and who shall do the work. So this is very important. It is an intellectual function. It is a function which is primarily dependent on the senior most management. So this is the simple definition. This is the next definition. This is an important one. Planning bridges a gap between from where we are and to where we want to go. We have to have a vision for achieving a target. So that vision is provided to us by planning. Okay. So now next is why do managers plan? What is the purpose of planning? It provides direction. It reduces the uncertainty. Yes, it reduces the level of uncertainty in our operations. It minimizes the waste and redundancy. It sets the standards for controlling. Without planning, there cannot be any controlling, because how we control is based on our plans. What we do is what we actually achieve, that is compared with our plans, and if there are any lapses, then that is what has to be controlled with the help of the controlling function. So planning forms the basis of controlling. If there are no plans to which we can compare our outcomes, There cannot be any controlling. Okay. Now benefits of planning are, they are goal focused, they minimizes uncertainty, improve efficiency. These are very simple things. It improves the coordination in the organization. It ensures the commitment of people. It is an aid to the success of business, and it brings systematization in the organization. Okay. So what are the elements of planning? The first is goal. Goals, which are also known as the objectives. And they are the outcomes for the individuals, groups, or the entire organization, and it provides direction and evaluation performance criteria. The plans are the documents that outline how goals are to be accomplished. So it describes how resources are to be allocated and establish the activity schedule. Now types of plans. The different types of plans are dependent on the different criteria. By breadth. Breadth means we can say the extent to which it is going to cover. It can be a strategic plan or an operational plan. By time frame, it can be long term or short term. By specificity, it can be directional or specific. By frequency of use, it can be a single use or a standing plan. Now we'll discuss each of these in detail. So what are strategic plans? They are those which apply to the entire organization. They help in establishing the overall goals of the organization. They seek to position the organization in terms of the environment, and it covers the extended periods of time. Now operational plans are those which tell us how the goals are going to be achieved. So these are perhaps the most important types of plans, because how we are going to achieve our target, that is told to us through these operational plans. They cover the short-term period. Now, on the basis of time, there are long-term plans, which are those which are for more than a year, more than 3 years actually. Short-term plans are those which are for 1 year or maybe less than that. Then specific plans, they are those which are very clear-cut defined, and there is no scope for any kind of interpretation. Means the person who has been assigned to do that work, he will be doing just what has been told to him. He cannot use his brain at any point of time. That is a specific plan. Then direction plans are those which set out the general guidelines, provide the focus, and allow discretion in implementation. Like if I talk about a school, in a school the administrator has been no, there is no timing in these, Samu. Except for long term and short term, specific and directional are not time bound. But yes, we can say that if we are planning for more than 3 years, then we can say it's a long term plan and it is specific in nature. Then I was giving you one example. If the administrator has been assigned a duty that he has to see that all the teachers are reporting to school at a specific time, say 8 o'clock in the morning, then how he is going to get it done from the teachers, how he is going to implement it, that will be his directional plan. The specific plan is that the reporting time is 8 o'clock for the teachers. Now administrator decides how he will get this done. He may just ask the teachers that their salary may be deducted if they are going to come late, or he may just say that you may be given, you may be declared the employee of the month or teacher of the month if you are like regular with your attendance, if you are reporting before the prescribed time. So that all planning will be done by him. Okay. Did you get the difference between the two, specific and directional? Alright. Now you can see, now there's a difference, specific and directional. Now this is a directional plan. It is telling you that from A you have to reach B. So how you go, it's your choice. You can go from this side, or you can come from this side, or you can come from this side. Ultimately, you have to be at B. And specific is the one in which everything has been defined. From A, you have to take this road. Then from Rugby Road, you have to reach to B. This is specific. Then next is types of planning. The first is single use plan. As it's clear from the name, it is used for one particular situation only. Then standing plans are those which are going to help as a guideline for those activities which are done on a daily basis. So that's a standing plan. Okay. So administration administration relies more on the standing plans. Administration of any organization. Now establishing goals and developing plans. So what is the traditional goal setting method in this? The broad goals are set at the top of the organization, means the top level management. Then the goals are broken into sub goals for the organizational level. Then it assumes that the top management knows the best because they can see the big picture. So goals are intended to direct, guide and constrain from above. So goals lose their clarity and focus as the lower level managers attempt to interpret and define the goals. Means basically the planning work is assigned to the top level management only. They are responsible for planning and the subsequent authorities are responsible for the implementation. So this is just a vision of this, the downside of traditional goal setting. Top management says we need to improve the company's performance. The division manager, that is the second level of hierarchy, it says I want to see a significant improvement in the division profit. The third tier says increase profits regardless of the mean. And the last, the lower one says don't worry about quality, just work fast. So these are the different interpretations at different levels. So we can say this may be regarded as the drawback of the traditional goal setting method. They are just concerned with their salary. They are not concerned about the quality of the work. They just want to get the work done at any cost. Same with them, the division managers level also. And the top level is just aiming at the profit. How is it achieved? That is not bothering them. So we can see that at the different levels, different type of planning is more important. As you can see, operational planning, first level managers are involved, then middle level, and by the time we go to top level, strategic planning comes into play. These are the people who are responsible for framing the strategies and policies for the company. We follow a particular strategy for over a year and then that becomes the policy for the concern, isn't it? Suppose the strategy that is being followed is that the teachers have to report at 8 o'clock to school, 8 a.m. That is a strategy. Then after a period of 4 years, 5 years, that strategy may become a policy for the organization. How they are, it may become a guideline that has to be followed. That is something understood type of a thing. Now what are the reasons behind criticisms of planning or rather criticisms of planning? It may create rigidity. Yes, sometimes very talented people, just because they have to work according to the plans laid down before them, they are not able to show their creativity. They cannot explore their creativity. Okay, that's a very big drawback, and especially in today's time when everybody is very much talented. Then plans cannot be developed for dynamic. Dynamic is something that keeps on changing and fluctuating. Since rigidity is involved in planning, so it's difficult to keep pace with the changing time. Then formal plans cannot replace intuition and creativity. Then planning focuses managers' attention on today's competition, not tomorrow's survival. Formal planning reinforces today's success, which may lead to tomorrow's failure. We can say that formal planning is very short-lived. It just focuses on today's time. It's not concerned with what's going to happen after a few years from now. So that's not a good strategy. Now, how is planning done? First is establishment of objectives. Strategies are developed. Then premises are determined. Premises are, as I told you, the assumptions. Then alternatives are also decided side by side. What if plan A fails? How are we going to succeed? What will be the plan B? So that all is decided. Evaluation of alternatives. Then after evaluating all the alternatives, plan A, plan B, plan C, the best one is selected. That is selecting a course of action. Then formulation of derivative plan. Derivative plan is also something like an alternate, we can say. Then implementation of plan. This is wrong. It should be implementation. And reviewing the planning process. If we are just going to implement, then we are just halfway through. We have to review the planning process also. Means how much has been achieved. What is the scope for improvement? That all should be considered. Now what are the first is analyze opportunities. So it's not a step of planning, but it's a pre-step of planning. And it is very essential to make a successful plan. There should be SWOT analysis. You understand the meaning of this word SWOT? No. Okay. SWOT is a term that is used very much in management. In this, S is for strength, W is for weakness, O is for opportunity, and T is for threat. Okay. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. These are the 4 things. So every plan must, or every opportunity must be analyzed on this premises. Then only it can be a success. So it all starts with the setting of objectives, the first and the real starting point of planning. So management has to define objectives in clear manner by considering organizational resources and opportunities. Because a minor mistake in setting objectives might affect the implementation of plan. Yes, if we go wrong if the first step is wrong, then ultimately the result will not be what we are expecting. So, and this is the first step in the whole process. So setting of objective must be done very carefully. The objectives must be very specific, clear, and practical. They should be time bound and expressed in numerical terms. They should not be vague by nature. Okay, vague is something that's not very certain. So they shouldn't be vague and dubious. They should be very concrete by nature. Now, how do we determine the premises or the assumptions on which planning has to be done? So they provide the environment and boundaries. First, the premises can be tangible and intangible. It's a term that is related to accountancy. You may be knowing it, tangible and intangible. Samu, you know this? Tangible, intangible. Okay. Tangible is something that can be seen and touched. And intangible is something which cannot be seen but it can be felt. Okay. So if I talk about tangible things in business, it is like machinery, the goods that have been manufactured. Okay. And intangible things may be like goodwill. Goodwill is something which you can only feel. You cannot see and touch. Then motivation, the level of motivation of the employee. what is their attitude, or rather the attitude of the management. So these are intangible things. Then internal and external. Internal are those which involve money, material, machines and management. And external factors are those which involve like competitors' policy, technological changes, government policy, social and cultural beliefs, because these are all the factors which influence the business. So these all factors should be considered at the time of planning or determining the premises of planning. That determination of the alternative, the next step. So it is essential to identify all the possible hidden alternatives. And the information about alternative course of action may be obtained from primary and secondary sources. They must be searched for the best, and management must develop the alternatives through the support of experienced and intellectual experts in management sectors. Then evaluation of alternatives, they all should be considered, which is the best and the worst, the pros and the cons of every alternative should be discussed, and then a decision should be taken. So each alternative is studied and evaluated in terms of some common factors such as risk, responsibility, planning premises, resources, technology, etc. And after all this, the last step is to select the best one. Then formulation of the derivative plan. It is essential to formulate the action or the derivative plan. For means they are the sub plans. The target is to get 90% marks in the examination. Now how that 90% will be achieved, that will be done through derivative planning. You have to make a plan. Okay, I'll follow a schedule. I'll get up at this time. I'll sleep at this time. I'll give this much time to this subject. Everything. So that is derivative planning, sub planning, to achieve the bigger target. Alright, Sam? So it includes these action plans involve formulation of policies, rules, schedule and budget to complete the defined objectives. Thus, formulation of derivative plans is an essential step in planning process. It is difficult to implement main plans without formulation of the derivative plan. Yes, unless and until you plan at each step, you cannot get to your target. Now, implementation of plan. Without this step, this procedure of plan will remain a paperwork only. Unless and until we implement, everything will be a futile effort. So this step brings all the procedures of plan into action. Now for this, the management has to take some steps such as to communicate with subordinates who initiate to plan into action, provide the necessary instruction and guidance, make arrangement of all resources like materials, machines, money, equipment, etc., make timely supervision and control over subordinates. Means implementing the plan in all its dimensions. You have to take care of everything. And the next is reviewing the planning process. So these are some plans, and these are some terms which we need to know once we have finished with the topic of planning. Okay, Sam? I think you know about all of these. Just go through them. Alright. So now this is done. Now I'll show you a video. It's a video on planning, and after that we'll have a small quiz. So what do you want to do first? Want the quiz first, or you want to watch the video? Okay.
Planning and overview.
Once upon a time there lived a princess who was the apple of her father's eye. Her father loved her dearly and sent her abroad to complete her education. However, when the princess came back, she was in for a shock. The wicked vizier had killed her father and declared himself king. The shocked princess fled to the jungle. After wandering around in a dazed state for more than a week, the starving princess came upon a small hut. She fainted at the door. When she awoke, she found herself in a hermit's hut. She narrated her story to the hermit.
Daughter, you have suffered grievously. What do you propose to do?
Sir, I am helpless. Please help me regain my kingdom.
Arise, daughter. I will help you. We need to formulate a plan.
Plans?
Yes. Don't you want to punish the vizier and get back your kingdom?
Thus began the princess's training. On the first day, the hermit asked her some questions.
Where are we presently?
In the forest.
Where do you want to be?
In my kingdom, ruling over it.
How do you plan to get over there?
The princess was silent. The hermit smiled. This is where you will learn about planning. What is a plan?
Samu, can you hear? Can you hear the video?
Planning and overview.
Once upon a time there lived a princess who was the apple of her father's eye. Her father loved her dearly and sent her abroad to complete her education. However, when the princess came back, she was in for a shock. The wicked vizier had killed her father and declared himself king. The shocked princess fled to the jungle. After wandering around in a dazed state for more than a week, the starving princess came upon a small hut. She fainted at the door. When she awoke, she found herself in a hermit's hut. She narrated her story to the hermit.
Daughter, you have suffered grievously. What do you propose to do?
Sir, I am helpless. Please help me regain my kingdom.
Arise, daughter. I will help you. We need to formulate a plan.
Plans?
Yes. Don't you want to punish the vizier and get back your kingdom?
Thus began the princess's training. On the first day, the hermit asked her some questions.
Where are we presently?
In the forest.
Where do you want to be?
In my kingdom, ruling over it.
How do you plan to get over there?
The princess was silent. The hermit smiled. This is where you will learn about planning. What is a plan? Planning is a process for accomplishing purpose. It is a blueprint of business growth and a roadmap for development. It helps in deciding objectives both in quantitative and qualitative terms. According to Coons and O'Donnell, planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do, and who is to do it. Planning bridges the gap between where we are to where we want to go. It makes possible things to occur which would not otherwise occur. What should a plan be? A plan should be a realistic view of the expectations. Depending upon the activities, a plan can be long range, intermediate range, or short range. It is the framework within which it must operate. For management seeking external support, the plan is the most important document and key to growth. Preparation of a comprehensive plan will not guarantee success, but lack of a sound plan will almost certainly ensure failure. Planning can be summarized in 3 easy steps. 1. Choosing a destination. 2. Evaluating alternative routes. And 3. Deciding the specific course of your plan. Why is it important to have a plan? It is important to prepare a plan, keeping in view the necessities of the enterprise. A plan is an important aspect of business. It serves the following 3 critical functions. Planning helps management to clarify, focus, and research their businesses or projects' development and prospects. Planning provides a logical framework within which a business can develop and pursue business strategies over the next 3 to 5 years. Planning offers a benchmark against which actual performance can be measured and reviewed. Features of planning. Planning is a process rather than behavior at a given point of time. Planning is future-oriented. Planning is undertaken at all levels of the organization. Planning is flexible as commitment is based on future conditions which are always dynamic. Hence, plans have to be changed in accordance with the changed conditions. Planning is a pervasive and continuous managerial function involving complex processes of perception, analysis, conceptual thought, communication, decision, and action. Planning is always goal-directed. A manager cannot plan anything unless he knows what he wants to achieve. Planning is the primary function of management, as every activity needs to be planned before it is actually performed. In other words, planning precedes all other managerial functions and provides the very basis for organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Planning basically involves making choices. Need for planning arises when goals or objectives are many and alternatives to achieve them are also plenty. While planning, alternatives are evaluated and a choice is made regarding which course of action is to be followed.
For instance, princes, you have the choice to either capture your kingdom or live in exile. Since you have decided to capture your kingdom, you can decide from amongst various alternatives how to go about it. Choice 1. You can claim the help of other kings, who are your sympathizers. Choice 2. Your erstwhile subjects can help you. Choice 3. You can petition the UN or other NGOs to help you.
Sir, why is planning so important?
The ancients have always said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Napoleon Hill has said, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action.
This very simple quote encapsulates the importance of planning. Planning is the cornerstone of the management function. Planning helps in bridging the gap between the present and future course of action.
Princes, now I will narrate to you the importance of the benefits of planning.
Importance and benefits of planning. Let us have a quick look at the benefits of planning. Planning reduces uncertainty, risk, and confusion in operation. Planning guides the decision-making by the managers. Planning helps in achieving coordination and facilitates control. Planning with an element of flexibility makes the organization capable of coping with the changing environment and facing challenges. Planning leads to economy and efficiency in operations. Planning begins with the determination of objectives. Limitations of planning. Planning can minimize the risk but cannot eliminate the risk. The success of planning depends to a great deal on authenticity of information and external and internal variables over which the planner has no control. Planning is the big process, so it is very time-consuming and money-consuming. Planning leads to rigidity. Following a pre-decided plan when circumstances have changed may not turn out to be in the organization's interest. Planning may not work in a dynamic environment. The organization has to constantly adapt itself to changes. Planning cannot foresee everything, and thus there may be obstacles to effective planning. Planning reduces creativity. Planning involves huge costs. Planning does not guarantee success. The success of an enterprise is possible only when plans are properly drawn up and implemented. Any plan needs to be translated into action or it becomes meaningless. Essentials of a good plan. The planning process must be continuous and creative and communicated to the lowest possible level. Planning should be time-bound and exist at all levels in the organization. Planning should not be rigid and should coordinate the efforts of the departments. Planning must have an inbuilt controlling system. People are the essence of planning. This factor should be kept in mind while framing plans. Types of planning. Planning is necessary in all walks of life. To name a few: architectural planning, business planning, comprehensive planning, event planning and production, family planning, financial planning, life planning, marketing plan, strategic planning.
Remember, you were born to win. But to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win.
Sir, you sound like a management guru.
Actually, I'm an ex-student of Harvard Business School.
Oh, sir, will this management principle help me win back my kingdom?
Why not? Management principles are meant to be applied in real life. A plan is a blueprint of how you execute your dream in real life. Plans are nothing. Planning is everything.
Armed with this knowledge, the princess made her plans. Her subjects were loyal to her, and ultimately she dethroned and imprisoned the wicked vizier. The princess ruled over her kingdom, wisely and well. And what about the hermit? Well, he became her prime minister, and the ex-student of Harvard used his management skills to guide the princess as she led her subjects to peace and prosperity.
you see? It was all about planning, what we did in the PPT. It was all summarized. Yes, Sam. It was all summarized there. The different types of plans, importance of planning, how planning should be done, all that was covered in it. Okay. So now can we go to the quiz? Can you see? Is it visible to you properly? Alright. So you can see it's all about management. It's about the management in today's world. So the first one is modern managers are dash. There are 4 options. Which one is correct? You have to just write your answer over here in the chat box. A, B, C or D. Just read, take your time and write your answer. You say C, the first one. Actually it is D. It is all of the above. They are action oriented, they are able to build a sense of values and they are able to manage people as well. Now next one. Planning, organizing, directing and controlling are the functions of dash. Are the dash functions of management, goals, results or D? A, B, C, D. D. All of the above. No, this is incorrect. They are all functions of management. They are not the goals. Goals are what we want to achieve. Every organization has a specific goal. And they are not the result. The result is the final outcome which we get after implementing these functions. So they are the functions of management. The next one. Coordinating people. 1 minute. Third one. Coordinating people and human resources to accomplish organizational goal is the process of dash. Planning, directing, management or leadership. Coordinating people and human resources. That is the function of what? It is a part of planning, directing, management or leadership. Some answer is B, leadership. Yes, that's correct. That's right. So now next one is fourth. Which of the following would be included in the controlling function? Which one is the part of controlling? Measuring results, explaining routines, setting standards or giving assignments? It is B, yes. You say it's B, explaining routine. No. The main function of controlling is, it's A, measuring results against the cooperative objective. A, that is the right answer. Okay. Now next one, the fifth one. Specific short-term statements dealing how to achieve an organization's goal is known as dash. Vision, mission statement, objective or operational planning. Samu, fifth one. A. You think they are known as the vision. Are you sure about this one? The answer to this is it's objective. How we have to achieve an organizational goal. That is the objective of actually it should be this one, operational planning, not objective. Then the next one is this one. An outline of the fundamental purpose of an organization is called its dash. Mission statement, objective, policy, or all of the above. C. Policy? No. Actually, it is the mission statement. It's a mission of the company. It highlights what is the purpose of its existence, how it's going to achieve its target, and what it has been doing so far. That all is mentioned in the mission statement. So it's mission statement, the right answer. So the next one, strategic planning is done by dash. Top managers, middle managers, supervisory or non-supervisory. Top. Okay, that's correct. The next one. Mr. X is a branch manager for Microsoft. He is dash. Top management, middle, supervisory, or none of the above. He is the branch manager. He is getting his work done from others. Middle? No. Actually, he is not involved in management in any form. He is just getting the work done from the people. So we can say he is the supervisor of the. So did you see? It's C, supervisor. I thought you wrote B. Then next one. The most effective leader is one who dash. Makes managerial decisions without consulting others. Works with managers and employees to make decisions. Has the leadership style most appropriate to the situation? And none of the above. C. Yes, that's the correct one. He is the one who knows how to manage things. The next one. 10th one. Empowerment is related to dash. Planning, organizing, directing or controlling. The 10th one. Tell me, what is this one? A, B, C or D? I'll tell you the answer. The answer is C, that is directing. Empowerment is related to directing. The next one. Technical skills are most important for dash. First line managers, middle managers. Yes, empowerment is increasing the power, making it more effective. Vice President production or top managers? Technical skills are important for whom? Yes, correct answer is A. First line managers, because they are the people who have to get their job done from the subordinates. So they need to be very strong. The next one, motivation is related to dash. Planning, controlling, leading or tactical decisions. Motivation is related to dash. Planning, controlling, leading or tactical. D. Tactical. Actually, it is related to leading. It is the duty of the leader to keep his employees motivated. So it's D. Leading. Then supervisory management spends most of his or her time in dash. Planning and controlling, directing and controlling, planning and organizing or organizing and controlling. What do they do most? Supervisors. Yes, Samu, that's the right answer. They are involved in directing and controlling. Good. The next one. Dash refers to the process of developing detailed short-term strategies about what is to be done, who is to do it, and how it is to be done. Sorry. Fourteenth one. These are the options. You have said B, that is tactical planning. Yes, that's tactical planning. Correct. Contingency planning is the planning that has been done in some kind of emergency, and strategic planning is when you do something for on a larger scale. Then the last one. An example of an effective standard for a control system would be dash. Deciding to hire 5 new employees, renting new premises, planning to increase sales of products from this to this. Control. A, B, C or D. Samu. A, B, C or D. You say D. Improving the quality of production. But this is the right answer. Planning to increase the sales of product A from 5,000 to 10,000 per month. Okay. So that's the right answer. So anyways, you have done well. You have given right answer, but with the passage of time, your performance will improve. So let's meet in the next class. Thanks for your time. Thanks for attending the class. Next class of mine is on Saturday. Saturday, 7 o'clock your time. Okay. It's the class of managerial economics. So make sure you are attending it and spread this message to your friends also. The assignment is on classchatter.com. Classchatter.com. Okay. It's an assignment on role play. So you can just attempt it. Alright. Thanks for your time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. See you on Saturday. Have a sound sleep and do take very good care of yourself. Thanks. Bye. And please give your feedback, Sammy. At the end of the class, you will get a form. Do fill that. Thanks.